noise. It's game time now.
All right, Guardsmaniacs, we are back here with another edition of Guardsmania. I am Gary Fair here back with ES Green and Logan Bruce, and we are back celebrating with the Guardians still in first place.
Yep.
Get to do another episode with your first place Cleveland Guardians. We took a week off last week because the Cleveland Cavaliers, above everything else, we are Cleveland sports fans, so we were celebrating getting to watch the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs. Something that we're hoping that the Guardians will be this year, especially with them, maintaining their lead this early in the season. Something that we don't usually get to watch the Guardians do, but here we are. We're middle of May. We are in first place, above 500, and here we go, man. Pitching is still holding the Guardians together. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
All right.
Cavs got that win yesterday. That was a pretty crazy game.
A swing game. That was a big one. Yep.
I guess.
Yeah, it was.
Before we get into baseball, how did you guys feel? Do you guys see all the outrage or fake outrage? I guess like the Detroit fans, I get why that last call at the end of the game wasn't made and they're pissed about it. But it's like a national media story. How do you guys feel about that no call?
Well, right the NBA just came out and said that it was correct not to call it. So
did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
Twice this playoffs already, they've had, came out and said, hey, they blew calls at the end against us. So I don't know, it's about time. I'm pretty sure twice it happened already.
Right. Yeah, I would have hated to see. I mean, if it was the other way around, I'd be furious. But I get why they didn't call it. So yeah, we got Game 6 tomorrow in Cleveland. And who do the Guards, are they in Cincinnati or Cincinnati's here?
They're home. Yep.
They're
home in Cincinnati, and then we head to Detroit.
The Kentucky Reds. There we go.
Yeah, playing the Kentucky Reds. They are managed by a familiar face, Tito Francona. He's a guy that we loved while he was here. He really was a part of turning the franchise around. We had some lean years before before he was here. And, it's been awesome to see them continue on. We're on year 3 after Tito, and, we're continuing to win. So it's been awesome, having that happen without him, and it's usually pretty interesting when we play the Reds after with him there.
Yeah. It's like we didn't miss a beat. It's super. And it's not even like we changed. Like it feels like we are the exact same team and we win the exact same way as we did when he was here. It's very weird.
For sure.
It's just odd and in a good way, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah, you could remove the manager from the picture, and it's the exact same. Like we're playing guards ball no matter what.
For sure.
Pretty seamless transition from Francona to Voigt.
Yeah.
Vote.
Vote. Yeah. And, it was interesting, too, because when we lost Mickey Callaway and we were going back to Carl Willis some years back, I was honestly a little nervous about that because I thought Mickey Callaway was the reason for the pitching and all of that stuff. And then, you go and you figure it out that, Carl Willis was the guy in the minor leagues that was bringing these guys up. And then you start to think about it. And Willis was the guy for Cliff Lee and CC Sabathia. And he's really the unheralded hero for all of this. Really wasn't Mickey Callaway. It's been Carl Willis. Carl Willis has been the guy for this organization. He's the guy that you can't let go.
Yeah. And I'm sure that he's put, the pieces in place to have people continue, for after he's no longer on the team. And it's just, he set a good culture too. And there's a lot of faces we don't see, I think, that lead to the success of this team, this minor league system that we have. And I'm not saying it's the best one, but it does. I think we have good guys that develop players. Hitting could be a little bit tricky sometimes, but pitching, we've developed pitching over the last 10 to 15 years, 20 years.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's been our calling card. Especially with the lack of money that we spend, it really has been a situation where the pitching has year after year after year after year has been a thing that's carried us. And, even going into every year we go into it and it's like the pitching is what carries us. And you get nervous about it because especially if, you're somebody who's Eric and my age, for the first, 20, 25 years of our life, you could not get a pitcher into Cleveland. The whole reason why the 90s fell apart was because of pitching. You could not get a pitcher in here. Charles Nagy was the ace of this staff, and Charles Nagy was basically Josh Tomlin. Right. He was,
that's crazy. Cause I was young. So it was like, you just kind of idolize every ball player that's on the team. Like I thought Charles Nagy was nasty. Was he not?
No.
Oh, I love Nagy.
You loved him, but he was the only he was an average pitcher.
Yeah.
He was league average, and he was the only league average guy. Everybody else was below league average that we had on here.
Maybe that's why we were awesome, because he was just the best that we had.
Seriously, we would compare him to he's the Indians' Brad Radke, but Brad Radke was a number one starter. Brad Radke won 21 games for the Twins. Right. Charles Nagy had an ERA under 4 like twice.
And those teams were winning with the bats. They were putting up runs, slugging people to death. So we really didn't need the pitching at that time.
Oh, we needed them.
True. We needed it. We never won. We needed the closer.
Right. So, now it's the converse of that. We really don't have the hitting, and it's anytime we have a league average hitter, we feel like, man, we got this guy. And, it's been the opposite of that, but it's whatever this, the system that they have together here it's just been incredible. Year after year, it's the pitching has just been there. And I guess we'll just kind of jump right into it. I just want to show you guys, if we look at the pitching rankings here in Major League Baseball, I mean, the Guardians are number 1.
Those are the strikeouts, man.
I mean, they are striking people out at a rate nowhere close to anybody else in baseball. They have a
lowest averages against.
Yeah, lowest averages. The ERA is. I'm trying to look it up here. I have bad eyesight here. I'm an old man, but if we're looking at the ERA, it's a 3.81 ERA. But Tampa has a lower ERA, and Texas.
They also have the most saves. Tampa, 19, and then they're just down at the bottom.
So the Guardians are what, 4th or 5th in the league in ERA.
Mm-hmm.
They are striking. There's no one's even close in strikeouts. WHIP. They're right there at the top of the league in WHIP. They're just the Guardians are. They're right there at the top of the league again in pitching.
Yeah.
And I would think, they're other than Parker, Messick, and Gavin Williams. I think we were expecting more from Ciccone this year, but Bybee's Bibby's he's still been there. He hasn't got the run support they needed. I was telling Gary this before. He is the lowest in the league. He has pitched with the least amount of innings with the team ahead. 2.2 of his 45 innings have came while the Guardians were leading. That's the lowest in the league by a little bit.
That's crazy.
But so his numbers are still there, and his, his advanced numbers, his spin rate, all that's still there. And
the only thing that's not there though is if you're looking here. I mean, I know that we're about a third of the season in here, right? So if you're talking a little less than a third of the season in here, but you're talking these 3 of your guys are only averaging 5 innings pitched per start. And the bullpen so far this year has felt shaky. And I don't know if it feels shaky because it really is shaky. Because if you're looking at these numbers, Guardians have good numbers pitching wise, right? So is the bullpen really shaky, or is it your starting pitching is just not going deep into games?
Probably.
I think the earlier they come out. Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're good.
I was just going to say, like, obviously the earlier these guys come out, the more innings that the bullpen has to eat up. Like, you're almost asking for them to be shakier. Like, so if they're coming in average in the 5th or the 6th inning and they got, or 6, 7, 8, 9, for lack of a better way of saying it, you're almost asking for trouble. Unless, your entire bullpen is just stacked, but like there's a reason some of these guys are middle relief pitchers. So when you're relying on the middle relief pitchers to come in, it's like, I mean, and nothing against any, like Festa, for example, like, I don't know, like he's an MLB pitcher. He's, an elite athlete because he's in the MLB. He's a major league pitcher, but do you really want him out there every other night in the 7th inning?
When he's giving up a run every other night.
That's what I think.
11 earned runs in his 20 innings. It seems like,
I've made the joke.
Give up a run.
He feels like he has to give up a run every time he pitches, but the stats say
if he gets through, and if they get him through one inning, they'll send him back out there for the next one, and he'll give up a home run.
Like, wait, he didn't give up his run yet. Get his ass back out there.
Yeah. So they're asking. We've asked a lot of our bullpen here so far. So as good as I think the pitching has been, we do need a little bit more length out of the starting pitching here. And so that has been kind of scary, as far as, what we're seeing out of this team. And, they are in first place, but not by a lot. And, they are only 2 games over 500. They're on pace to win 86 games. So they are in first place. But they're not, they're not on fire right now.
Right. And I think we should feel good about this situation we're in now, because this team could heat up at any time, I think. And that's what they need. They haven't done in years, but they need to offensively.
It's better than last year, man. We were sitting here wherever, 3rd place.
Oh,
and then we had to go on a historic run just to sneak in.
Just having DeLauder and Bazana here already. Bazana for 2 weeks? Not even. It's been such an addition for this team. His energy, his style, everything about him. It's just
I think we have him on our list to get to also. But I couldn't be happier with what he's done so far. Like, I mean, he's made a couple errors that feels like everybody's making errors. I don't know. Like, you guys see the Yankees call up Volpe again in the first, like, it was a 2nd or 3rd ball hit to him. He dropped again. The Yankees shortstop, like, I feel bad for that dude, but
it feels as though, like, dude, even Ramirez is making errors where I don't remember him making errors.
Yeah,
he's not as sure-handed as I remember him ever being.
Yeah, I'd be interested to look, maybe before next week we can look up like the amount of errors across the league, like if it's above the league, like if it's above higher than normal. Sorry. It feels like it, but maybe that's because I watched the Guardians or I watched Juan Burrito for 3 weeks. And I feel like everybody makes errors.
Yeah. No, for sure. And it's just the defense just has not been as good as you would want it to be. But that is what it is. At least it's something that we're seeing across the league. It looks like, I don't know if it's something that, it's that, we're watching games and so we're seeing it and we, I don't know if the numbers are backing that up, but it's definitely something that, as you're watching it, the eye test is saying that, the defense just is not where you want it to be. Talking about Bazana, we'll take a look at what he's doing right now. I mean, he's through 45 at bats. I mean, for a guy hitting 222 to have a 718 OPS, that means a couple of things. It means he's getting on base, right? Mm-hmm. And when he's getting on base, he's stealing bases.
I mean, 7 steals this early on is crazy.
Yeah.
What's he played 14 games, maybe 10, 14, like somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of stolen bases.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing what you want him to do. Mm-hmm. And, you need a kickstart on this offense. And at this point, it is early in the season, but you're getting to a point where you're about maybe, I don't know. I don't know the exact math, but are we about a third? It'll getting to be about a third of the way in. It is time to start sounding the alarm bells on Steven Kwan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that you're going to take this guy off the field yet, but he can't. You're in first place, and you've got to maintain this. Every game, your games in May count just as much as they do in August and September, and you cannot allow. You can't lose these games. You've got to maintain. You've got to maintain. And I just don't know if you have a guy that's getting on base, even though he's young, but he's the first overall pick 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So this is the type of pressure you sign up for when you're the first overall pick in the draft. So here we are. The pennant race is the pennant race. If you're the Guardians, is it time to put Bazana up in the order? Is it time to bat him leadoff and move Kwan down?
Go
That's
ahead,
an
Eric.
Interesting proposal. Yeah. I could get to see doing that. Kwan this has been a prolonged slump, kind of going back to the end of last year, and it is concerning. You probably wouldn't hurt to put him down and bring somebody up. I don't know if it's Bazana or if Martinez can handle it.
Yeah, but Martinez has been swinging it lately. He actually hit a leadoff home run a couple days ago, didn't
he? Yeah,
yeah.
His first ever leadoff home run because he doesn't lead off too often. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, honestly, if we would have had Bo Naylor hit, well, I guess no, he's 140. I was going to make a joke there. That's significantly worse than 206 or whatever. Kwan's hitting. Like, that's bad.
His OPS is so low too. It's 576. He's not really,
but even Martinez though, Martinez is only getting on base at a 300 clip. You can't have your you can't. I know that we are at a different time. We're at a different time and place than it used to be, right? But we're still not at a place where your leadoff hitter can get on base at a 300 clip, right? You're taking a look at these guys and you're seeing how they're playing. I mean, who are the guys that are getting on base? It's really what Chase DeLauter.
I was going to say DeLauter would be like my sneaky pick to put up there. Just almost not. He's not Aaron Judge by any means, not yet. He will be in a couple of years, but like just your guy, like right in the face of the pitcher starting the game. Like we're not, coming at you with Kwan or Martinez, like trying to get a single. Like here's one of our 2 best hitters. Good luck.
Yeah,
and just put pressure on the pitcher right immediately to start the game.
And also too, it's like at what point I'm wondering for the Guardians this year. Steven Kwan, he's had some good years for the Guardians, right? But I don't think the years are as good as we remember them to be. He's had some good months with the Guardians,
right?
But he's never had a good year with the Guardians. He's had some really hot months. He's had a half where he's hit almost 400, and then he gets hurt and he ends up hitting 270 for that year.
Right.
He has refused he's refused these contract extensions. He's a free agent at the end of the year. And, we're looking at his numbers right now. And I mean, he is just, it's unsustainable, hitting 206 in that leadoff spot. Right. At what point I'm not suggesting you give up. I'm not suggesting you give up on him, but I mean, do you give up on him at this point? I mean, is he part of your future? Is he a part of your present?
I don't think we necessarily need to give up on him.
Yeah.
His defense makes it worth keeping him for now, but not in that leadoff spot. You
in left field though, is left field defense really that important?
I think here he plays the ball better than most players I've ever seen here in left field.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would put him in center here. In my opinion, they should leave him in left. Yes, left. The louder and right, then you can have your.
That's what we have these platoon guys. Why do you
have like Schneemann in center?
Right.
Because I was listening to another show and they said the same thing. There's not really everyday players on this team. How many of these guys are really everyday players?
That's what I've been saying for a couple of years. It's like I'm sick of. That's where like my Schneemann hate for a while. There was just the fact that we have so many platoon guys.
Right, he's just a replacement level player. He's off to a hot start.
Schneemann's been doing pretty well, but
it's like I said, it's the same. Only quarter of games that Stephen Kwan's played, and he's had different results. So it's a lot of luck in there too, I think, and putting the ball in play. But Kwan's, I did see that Kwan's swing rate is way down too. Let's see here, his exit velocity is at 82.5 this year, which is a low from his high at 86.3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's not squaring up. He's swinging at bad pitches.
Right.
And you can't say that it was the move to center field because this was happening. This was the second half of last year as well.
Correct.
So this is going on now almost a full season of, Stephen Kwan not being the Stephen Kwan that, we thought or wanted to have.
Mm-hmm. And his hard hit percentage is down to 10%. The average was 19 for his career. He's down to 10%. So he's definitely just not striking the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not happy that he's hitting the way he is, but I would like him to be part of our future, and it's going to save us a lot of money if he is now.
Do you swap Rocchio and?
I mean, honestly, Rocchio would have been the other guy maybe that I would say put up at the leadoff spot. I think Kwan, the first step would be to just get him out of the leadoff spot, get the pressure off of him. I don't know if you guys saw Cal Raleigh was on a historically bad streak, 0 for 38 or whatever the heck it was.
He was going for Chris Davis's streak.
Yeah, it was brutal. He's on my fantasy team, of course, so I've been watching every game. It was he's been struggling with an injury. I don't know if Kwan's necessarily has that going on, but he got put on the IL today after he got a couple of hits, broke the streak. Then he got injured yesterday. Now he's on the IL. And it's kind of a lot of people are saying that's honestly what he needs. It's just get him off the field for a while, for 15, 20 days, whatever it is, to get his mind right. Because going up there and trying to force it is just making him worse.
Right.
Now I'm not hoping that Kwan gets hurt, and don't want any of that to happen. But I think the first step would be to give him the mental break would be to slide him down in the order. He's a professional. He's I think I was the one that mentioned it. You don't want to kill his confidence by moving him down. A couple weeks ago, I said that, but now it's okay, if he gets moved down, he can't question why. He knows for sure. He knows why he got moved down.
Right. The evidence is there. Numbers are there.
I mean, and I think that normally in these situations, you go and you look at the AAA roster and you're like, who's down there? But I mean, there's an option or two down there. I think, they called up Petey Halpin, and, that guy's not necessarily known for his bat, but you got Khalil Watson, who you traded, you got from Florida a couple years ago from Josh Bell, who was a middle infielder, but you moved him to the outfield because of his bat. You wanted to find a place for him, and he's mashing down there. He's got 7 home runs, 7 doubles. He's got a 931 OPS. You seem to only love left-handed outfielders. He's a left-handed outfielder.
14 stolen bases and 18 attempts.
Yeah, I mean, he's sitting down there.
Another speedy player like the Guardians, are made of, and that's the ball we have to play. Zani gets on base, he steals.
He's a multi-tool guy. Is this a situation? Is Kwan hurt?
Something's weird.
Something's weird with Kwan, and it's. At this point, you've got to figure it out because you're not rebuilding, and you're in first place.
We're competing for the trophy.
And the Guardians are in a situation where, I mean, they're not the Yankees, they're not the Dodgers, they're not one of these teams that has a huge payroll, and they can afford to hide one of these guys in the lineup. They need everything out of everybody in the lineup, and even if they are in first place, they need guys mashing to get the attention of the people in this city, to get people back in that stadium. And they don't spend money unless they have people in that stadium. And Steven Kwan hitting 200 does not put butts in seats.
No. I think trading Steven Kwan takes people out of the seats. The people that are like, I don't know. Looking at the numbers, he's not doing great, but he is a fan favorite. He's won the Gold Gloves. Like we're running out of patience because we watch every single game, but it's like, I think I don't know. I still I'm holding out hope for whatever reason.
So do you keep him for the season regardless, or you move him? He doesn't have much value at this point, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, right. I don't know what you trade him for.
The only thing I was thinking this while you guys were talking, like if we did trade him, I don't want to. I want him on the team. I think he can turn it around. But if we did, is there a team that is paying a guy that, I don't know, like a power right-handed bat that they're not really competing, and they have a guy on their team that they might be looking to ship, and they're just trying to offload some money, so they'll take on Kwan, who they know they don't have to pay next year. Trade for a guy that has 2 or 3 years left on his deal. He's hits relatively well, and they're just the other team's trying to save money. I'd have to look and see what the contracts are out there, but that might be the only thing is we get rid of Kwan, and the only value he has is that he's not on contract.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's rough. There's not really a market out there for him.
Right.
So I don't necessarily know what I'm suggesting. I don't know that, I have to look. I don't know if Eric, if you can look up, see if Kwan has any options. I don't think he was a guy that really went up and down for a lot of years. So I imagine he still has options. Maybe,
I think he's got to turn it around, man. I don't know. I don't know. You don't hit 400, I guess, when you're red hot, but he's proven that he can do it. It's got to be a mental thing, which I think the Cal Raleigh break is would be the actual answer. Go ahead.
But Cal Raleigh though has a lot of power. When Cal Raleigh gets a hold of something, he can, when he gets a hold of it, he gets a hold of it, right? So you can get some poorly hit balls through the infield and get some singles here and there. With Steven Kwan, if something's wrong with him, or if he's just getting older, it's the thing. He's 7 years of service time. That means he's been in the league quite a bit now, right? He's a veteran. If when those guys start to age, if he didn't have power to begin with, and he's starting to lose some of that pop, now everything's at the warning track. He's popping balls up. He's swinging at bad pitches.
Mm-hmm. I mean, all he really needs to do is slap stuff out there, spray it to left field, spray it to right field. That's his game. I don't mind if he doesn't have the power. If he's,
but he never had the power.
No, right.
But what I'm saying, but he needed the power that he had. He needed.
Yes.
And if he doesn't have that anymore, then this is what you have.
Right.
Which might be why he's swinging at bad pitches now.
Well, then if he's
trying to drive stuff.
210, 220 gold glove winning left fielder, then we can pay him a 220 hitting gold glove left fielder, which would be a lot less than a 300 hitting gold glove fielder.
But you don't need, but nobody needs a 220 hitting gold glove left fielder. A gold glove in left field at 220 is really not needed in the league.
Right.
It's just not, you would rather have a mediocre fielding left fielder that hits 240 with 20 home runs than a gold glove hitting left fielder that hits 210 and no home runs.
Yeah.
Or 5 home runs.
Yeah, I just don't think he's gonna I think he'll turn it around, maybe not 280, 290, but I don't he's gotta this is not who he is. We've seen who he is. But again, if the question is how long do we wait for him to return to what he was, then
mm-hmm.
Yeah, MLB career is 277 hitter.
Yeah, that's where I think everybody and not you guys, but people have had it in their minds he's a Luis Arias type guy that's hitting Eric, you said, slapping at the left field. He's hitting 350 every year. Like that wasn't who he was. He's just, we think he's Luis Arias because 270 on our team might as well be 400.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's
and yeah, he no longer has any options left. He's in his second year of arbitration and remains under team control through the 2027 season.
Yeah, I say just move him down in the order. That would be the first step. Like,
okay,
how many times can you beat your head against the wall and just watch him pop up 3 or 4 times? Like, well, 4 times a game because he's getting the 4th at bat at leadoff.
And would you even go to arbitration with him at this point? If the season, doesn't correct itself, is it worth even bringing him back for one more year?
For Quan?
Yeah,
Quan's arbitration.
It does say he has arbitration.
I don't believe that is correct. I believe his arbitration years are done. I thought
it could be right.
Yeah. Either way, whatever.
Yeah.
This is an AI report. AI makes mistakes.
Whatever he goes into those rooms and says he's worth, and here's why he's losing all of the argument that he has. So, we will be able to get him for cheaper. I mean, the problem is when he's playing well, he is guards ball. Like he can bunt, he can, again, hit 260, 270, and he can save runs on defense like that. Because our owner doesn't spend anything on players, that's what we need. But when he's not hitting the 250, 260, whatever it is, then that's different.
And this team everything that doesn't hit like that really affects this team. You can't. Everybody's got to be contributing, and in this team, when you're not, it sticks out.
So you were right. I was wrong. He is under club control through the 27 season.
Right. Okay.
So he has 1 year of arbitration left.
All right. So like
I said, I don't
positive vibes out there for Quan. Let's send him out. Like the main goal would be let's just start hitting the baseball.
Right. First quarter of the season's done. Still hasn't really warmed up yet, especially here. So hopefully his bat warms up with the weather, and we're talking about.
We're going to be next week in baseball sitting here saying how well he played against the Kentucky Reds. We're going to say he saw Tito. Yeah, he saw Tito. Tito gave him a couple words of advice, and we swapped the Kentucky Reds, and Quan had 2 hits every game.
Now, there was another guy that was having problems with the bat we've been talking about, and he is now in Arizona. They're trying to work on his swing, and replacing him is 2-time Gold Glover, switch hitting catcher Patrick Bailey. And going over to the Giants for him was left-handed relief pitcher Tugboat Wilkinson, and our first-round pick, the number 29 pick in the draft this year. And Bailey's come over here, and so far is 0-4 in 2 games, which is not a surprise. He's a little lighter hitting than Naylor, but defensively, he's the best in the league. If you're watching the Guardians, you obviously. I love the defense. I love that you improved in defense, right? Mm-hmm. But, you have Cooper Ingalls down there who's mashing at AAA. And he's the Guards' 3rd or 4th top prospect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a first-round pick for a guy that if you still think highly of your top catching prospect, right? You gave up your first-round draft pick for your backup catcher next year? Or,
I mean, we're going to be platooning like that. Those guys will be 50%, probably 50-50 Bailey and Engel. The way that the Guardians manage their young guys outside of Bazana now, who's an everyday guy. But it's like we bring these guys up, and I think that's where some of the development fails. It's like we'll bring Engel up, and he'll split time with Patrick Bailey. He won't be the everyday catcher. He'll split time with him.
So your first-round draft picks now only develop into platoon players?
I mean, I think they just didn't see there's value in that first round pick, but they see what Hedgie does, and you guys have heard the interviews, how much these dudes just love what Hedges brings to the team, and he's probably going to be an assistant coach in a year or 2 here. But I think this move was made to kind of bring in a second Hedges, because Bo wasn't doing anything that had I'm sure the clubhouse loves the guy. I'm not going to pretend like I know if they like Bo or not in there. Mm-hmm. but I think like seeing the way that Hedges helps the pitchers and the way a good defensive catcher helps the pitcher, like we're talking about our best hitter or second best hitter right now is hitting 206. So it's like, all right, we're a pitching team. The only way we're going to win games is through defense and pitching. And Bo wasn't really doing it defensively. So
no, for sure.
It's not an NFL first round pick. I get it. You'd like to have it, but it's not like the Browns trading 3 first rounders for Watson. Like the NFL first rounders have a lot more value.
Right. There's no surefire player sitting there at 29 where you're like, okay, this guy we can't miss.
For sure. Yeah. But Aaron Judge was the 28th pick. He was the pick that the Yankees got when we signed Nick Swisher from the Yankees. Right. So it's not like he's still it's still the first round.
Imagine how bad Aaron Judge would be if we would have drafted him. He'd hit
for sure
220 and 26 home runs every year.
Yeah.
But that'd be great for us.
Yeah, he'd be our best player.
So that just to me, that is a lot to give up for a guy that you're going to plan on platooning.
I don't know.
Well, like I said, I think Patrick Bailey's here to be the starter. Yeah.
Yeah. Which then, if we're talking Engel, then what does that say? They think about this guy.
Then what are you doing with him then? Does that mean he's going to be in a deal?
Could be. I mean, and so you can keep that catcher depth. They have Cody Huff down there as well.
So then now you have down at AAA, you have three catchers down there now. Who's getting playing time?
Engel's defense isn't up to par.
I think Engel's going to move,
but you can't get his defense up to par if he's not getting playing time. And you're also you got Bo Naylor down in Arizona now, and you're trying to fix his swing. So you obviously when you work on his swing, he's going to have to get playing time down in AAA because you're going to try and trade him. That's why you're sending him down to Arizona, right? And then Engel's going to have to get playing time to fix his defense.
Yeah.
Right.
So then what are you doing with Huff?
I think they're going to change his position. Would just be, I have no idea, but that's my crystal ball pick. Is like they're going to, if we know that they don't like this guy's defense, imagine what he knows how they feel about his defense. Like
for sure.
They have to like think first base or corner outfield something, or give him the David Fry treatment where you're still kind of a catcher, but DH maybe. I mean, don't want to see the guy be a career DH, but if he can't catch a baseball, then that might be what he is.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I just don't want to see this be a situation where I feel like the Cleveland baseball franchise has had a history with once in a while we'll have these guys that have these bats and they can't find a defensive position for them, and then somebody else in the league does. Like for example, who's the Cuban kid that we traded to Tampa for? I'm having a brain freeze.
Caminero?
No. Caminero, no, he was a Rule 5 pick that we let go. We traded him to Tampa for the first baseman. Yes,
Yandy Diaz.
Yandy Diaz.
My God, he's on my fantasy team too. Thank God.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if he was on our real team.
No kidding.
A right-handed first baseman that hits 40 bombs a year, that'd be cool.
Yeah. That plays third base and second base, and but we couldn't find a position for him. It wasn't good enough. Right. And didn't have any power when he was here, by the way, too.
No. And now he's the top 10 power hitter in the league.
Yeah. So you just don't want, the Guardians. It's not a surprise. Everybody knows that the Guardians have had issues developing hitters, and this guy is at AAA and he's mashing, and it's just you've got to find a way to get this guy into the majors. If he's hitting the way he's hitting, especially with a team that's so anemic offensively, you've got to figure out a way.
Right.
Yeah, and they're probably trying to be careful because I think, I don't know, Bazana again, like we didn't even call him up as quickly as other teams called up their first round guys from that draft, but like we called them up quicker than we usually have called up anyone. And I'm wondering if they're like, if we brought up Engel, or you mentioned like getting rid of Quan and the outfielder that's hitting very well, like they're probably trying to have some sort of balancing act. Like, cause if there would be a huge youth movement if all of these guys ended up coming up. Not that would be a bad thing, but they would have, and who knows if these guys that are hitting well in AAA will hit well in the majors, but you don't know until they get here. So you got to try it.
When you don't go out in the free agent market, to add depth. This is what you have, though.
We have Reese
You're
Hoskins.
relying. What's that? Yeah.
You
know, that's what you're asking for the youth. That's what you're relying on is the youth when you do that. And you know, I know that it's early, but you are where you are. You know, you know, what's the same. You're in the major leagues. You know, it's like you're in the majors.
That's what our pitching's doing so well. It kind of covers it. Like that's, you know, a gift and a curse. Like our pitching is so well that we kind of get away with it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We get away with having a bad offense all the time. I just wish they would see what if we had a good both of them. Like what would happen if our pitching and our hitting was good? Could you I don't know. I like the Bailey trade. I don't like the first round pick to me. I would like to have it, but I don't know if like he's that like his framing is off the charts. I think Eric, you were saying that like that is a huge difference. Confidence builder for the pitchers. It does help win games. Now I wish he could hit a little bit better, but I mean, if Bo wasn't doing defense, then screw it. Like bring in
if they're not hitting, they might as well be saving runs.
Yeah, but that's where you have to save runs where you can.
But now that you can replay pitch it, you know, challenge pitches, what does framing?
It's just a few a game. I mean, unless you get them right, then you can do more. But
yeah, I mean, so how much does framing really help now at this point?
I think it still does. Like it was a couple games ago, we were out of challenges in the second inning. So it's like the umpires still have to call pitches. Now, did you guys see that they are getting feedback during the game on their zones? So like when we were talking about a couple of weeks ago where we were, I said like that it seems like the zones, like the umpires are better this year. They are actually getting feedback during the game on their zones. But I think I don't know. Framing is always going to be a part of the game. I don't know. When I was like as a pitcher, it's just you develop a lot more confidence in your catcher and like kind of build that relationship. Just seeing like if I miss a pitch by 3 or 4 inches and the catcher makes it look like I didn't, like it just helps.
Big value,
yeah. So,
yeah, I mean it's. You know, we'll definitely have to see, you know, how things go. You know, hopefully, you know, I'm hoping that over a much larger sample size, you know, having Bailey on this team will make me change my mind as far as, you know, what we gave up and, you know, what his value to this team is going to be. Just because, you know, right now I just don't. I understand the defense and the pitch framing and all of that stuff. But I don't know, man. That just seems like a lot to give up for a guy that can't hit, because we have so many guys on this team that can't hit. You know,
that's it. Almost feels like they're going all in on screw it. We don't need to hit.
Yeah,
I hope isn't what they're thinking, but that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, and you need guys to hit. You know, on this team. You know, and the offense has been anemic. You know, and it just makes me wonder, like, what is your plan? You know, what exactly is their plan? What are they going to do? You know, because eventually Bo Naylor is going to have to play again. You know, so who's losing playing time?
Hedges is gonna retire at the All-Star break and become a bench coach.
Is Naylor going to play first? Is he going to first base in AAA? Is he having a position change?
That I heard of.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that it is a thing. Like with again, like it's kind of changed. Like Cal Raleigh would be an example of it, but like being a catcher, like the wear and tear, like those guys, you guys have seen it. Even in the '90s, there was like some of the guys could hit and they could match for sure. But it's like if you like that would be the next step is like maybe change his position to first base because the wear and tear you get just crouching all game long. Like a lot of hitting is in your legs. So maybe that is what they're thinking. It's like Bo naturally was one of the most gifted hitters that a lot of people had ever seen. And it just didn't work out. So maybe they're thinking, okay, well, like the last thing would be, can he play first base? And like get his legs back under him.
Do the Mariners do a similar thing with Raleigh?
He actually like demands that he catches a lot. And they actually like last year when he was on that run, they were trying to get him not to. But he's like him, it like helps him. He said stay in the game, which I also get. Like a lot of people hate DHing because you're just sitting there.
That was a big thing with Frank Thomas when he was with the White Sox. He would
Jose doesn't like it. But they've kind of forced him to do it on Sundays now. A lot of people hate it. I used to do, like, even in high school, I did it, and it sucks. Like, it sucks because you're just sitting there watching a game, and then you got to get up and stretch, and then like these guys facing a 100-mile-an-hour pitcher after you just sat there in 40-degree Cleveland weather for an hour.
Right.
Like, you can't hit that. You can't go up there and hit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You know, I don't know. It was just kind of a move out of the blue. And I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't know what you do there, you know, with it. Yeah. You know, if they were going to make a move for a position player, I was just hoping it was going to be for a bat. You know, a bat, not a field, you know, an actual bat.
I think they thought 2 Hedgies are better than 1, is what somebody in that front office said. And
I mean, Hedgie's hitting.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I don't know. Like,
Hedgie's actually for Hedgie, he's mashing this year.
Yeah.
You know, so the Guardians, though, you know, as much as it sounds like we're down on them, but they are in first place.
Yes.
You know,
they're that's first what I feel bad, like we were just complaining, but it's almost like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop when you see all the hitting numbers.
Yeah.
I think we have high expectations. I mean, we know who they are, but we always expect them to do better.
Yeah. Well, it's like we've seen this before. Like, we're in first place. Our pitching's out of this world. Our hitting's not doing too much, but hey, we're in first place. And then you run into the Yankees and they score 7 runs a game. And Clase is betting on the game, so they score 8 or 9. So it's like...
Yeah, I mean, and even Kate Smith's turned it around. You know, he started the season real shaky. And I mean, if you turn around and look, he's leading the league in saves. You know, he's got that ERA down to the low 3s. You know, he's not really, you know, that the bullpen has pulled it together here in May.
Now I'm checking my fantasy team. I realized I might have forgot to put starters in. Yep. Damn it, man.
A couple of shifts in the bullpen there, yeah, but they've seemed to have corrected the ship.
Yeah. You know, they definitely had definitely had musical chairs there in the bullpen, but seems like they do it every year.
Yeah, you have to kind of I think it's with relief pitchers, you have such a small sample size that it's almost like a whole season could be ruined in a week. You give up 14 runs, whatever, in your first so many appearances, it's going to be hard to get that down. Doesn't mean you're not a good pitcher, just means you got to hit early. And so it does take time, but they have a lot of young arms, I think, that they can throw up here if they need. Alleyman's up here now, and you got Espino still.
It's going to be exciting when they. Yeah, say that. Go ahead, Logan.
I'm really pulling for him, man.
Yeah,
he deserves to get up here soon.
Yeah, I feel like he's been on my MLB The Show roster for about 10 years.
Yeah.
You know,
he probably has. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so, you know, eventually they'll pull that trigger, and that's going to be fun. You know, he's got an electric arm, and, you know, he's been throwing well down in AAA. But, you know, once again, man, we need hitters like that. You know, there's not really the hitter that's, you know, electric down in AAA. They don't like his defense. And so they traded for a guy when it seemed like it could be his turn coming up here. They traded for a guy that has no bat to take that spot.
He's got to move positions. This is the more I've heard it. Even we've said it like a few times now about his defense. Like, he's got to move positions. It's like, dude, if you're in AAA and there's still a bunch of question marks, like, you can still improve, yes. But the way that, like, how reliant we are on our pitching, it's like that, again, is a huge, like teamwork and relationship between the pitcher and catcher. And it's like, if you're shaky at all back there, and like Parker Messick, like, you think like they'd rather have Hedgie out there, even Bailey now at this point. Like, you want, like, the pitchers want the guy that they trust back there. And it's like, you don't want the rookie coming up that everybody knows has defensive issues. Like, so my stance would be try to get him the first base or something, like, because that you don't like that. Just you'd be implementing something into our pitching, and our pitching has been the only thing we've been good at for 10 years. But then you're throwing something in it with a question mark.
For sure, but then now you have a bottleneck there, because now what do you do with Hoskins and Manzardo?
Yeah, well, I feel like Engel's not going to come up this year as much as he probably should. I feel like he's not going to.
Who's that?
Engel.
Yeah, I mean, he's 23 years old though. I mean, in modern baseball, this is the time that you bring him up.
Yeah, the Guardians are playing 1960s baseball though.
That's in a lot of ways they are.
Huff's 25, so he's they're both 5'8", 5'9". They're both smaller dudes.
I'm sorry, what was that?
They're both smaller guys, 5'8" and 5'9".
And what were you saying, Logan?
No, I was saying that he's 25. It sounds like he's ready to coach.
Yeah, especially for the Guardians. He's ready to retire.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
he looks like Hedges.
Does he?
You see him when you see him, yeah. Hedgie Jr. Could be the same person. Maybe that's why they don't call him up.
True. So wait, if our best triple, like, man, that's so our best AAA hitters are catchers. That sucks.
Yeah, him and then the Khalil Watson kid.
Yeah, Watson's doing well. Pizzana, I guess, was there before they called him up, but
you know, and he's not really hitting here, but he's walking a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
which I mean, 220 first couple weeks in the bigs, like that's fine.
For Pizzana,
yeah,
he's
like this is energy, dude. It's crazy. He tries so hard, and that's like he'll fit right in. I feel like.
And I think that Jose Ramirez is like the perfect role model for this guy.
Yeah.
Teach him how to play, teach him how to be a leader, whether, you know, if he wants to or not, that's, you know, up to the player usually who becomes the leader. But, you know, the framework's in place, the blueprint's there. He's got, you know, I just excited to see him play every time. It's definitely added excitement to the game.
Yeah. I never thought of that's a great point, actually, with Jose. Kind of like Pizzana's not undersized for his position or anything, but it's like, you make up for what you can't do by trying a lot harder at what you can do.
Right.
Yeah. Did you see when he challenged that pitch the other day? And his challenge was wrong and it was actually a strike. He apologized to the umpire for challenging it. I thought that was cool. Like, that's smart. Now the umpire will hate you for challenging it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's, you know, a good way to not show the umpire up.
Yeah.
Which used to be a big thing in baseball.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make sure that you don't show the umpire up. So, seems like he's got a good attitude, you know, does things the right way ish. And you're just hoping that the offense here for the Guardians kind of turns it around. Because they're going to need it, because the pitching is going to go through a slump. You know, we saw what it looked like at the beginning of the year when the pitching was slumping and, you know, the offense was a little hot, and now the offense has been slumping for about a month now, which means that the offense was only hot for 2 weeks this year so far.
Right. That one road trip.
Yeah.
Where we go out to Oakland or Sacramento, wherever they are.
Yeah. Sacramento A's. But we did have a few high run games here recently. They're followed up by 1 and 2 run games, but we had like a couple where we had 5, 6, 7 runs.
Yeah, well, they've been shut out 4 times already this season.
Well, the Guardians like to make sure that, like, you know, if they score 9 runs in a game, they make sure that the next couple of games brings their like runs per game average back down to 2.
Yeah,
right.
You know, we don't
like
lucky
to get 9 hits the next 3 games after scoring 9 runs.
Yeah,
you know,
it goes cold and it's dead.
Yeah, we like to make sure that we keep those batting averages low and the runs per game low. You know, so I'm hoping that we get to a point here that when the Guardians, when it's time to make a move, which kind of feels like right now, but I know that it is in early May, but I hope they make the move, you know, especially, you know, they got the work stoppage coming up. You don't know what, you know, the CBA is going to look like. You don't know financially what the league is, what kind of situation the league is going to be in. You know, this is the time. This is a moment to strike for the Guardians. You know, especially with all the uncertainty, you know, going into this is the time to strike for them.
And with this division, why they got the lead. Don't relinquish it. Just don't make yourself have to claw back in like we did last year. Although that was one of the funnest things to watch ever.
Yeah, that was great.
But
I wonder if they kind of double down like what they just did at catcher. If like we'll be waiting for them to trade for a bat. If they actually like take Slade's 5th spot in the rotation and they trade for somebody like another top pitcher to put there. I wouldn't actually like after the Bailey trade. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they were thinking at all. Let's just load the rotation up or trade for some top relievers. Like we know what we're good at. Let's just double down on it, which would be not very exciting. But I don't know if there's anybody else out there in like CC Sabathia's situation or Scuba would have been this year before we got hurt. Like a guy that would be a 1-year rental or even half a season rental, but maybe this year and next year we get a guy. I don't know who would be out there like that, but that'd be interesting.
So I mean, I think it's probably too early to see who's on, who would be available, via trade.
We'd have to see, I guess, who's like kind of giving up around the break.
Yeah.
So what would we do with Saccone? You put him back down and let him go around the minors for a little bit?
I mean, I think you need to see what he looks like in the bullpen.
I think a long relief role would be I mean, it's a totally different mindset. I don't know if you could release him, like what financially that would look like, but like even as a 5th option, like your 5th starter is going to give up runs, but it's like, my God, man, like I think he's kind of started to even it out a little bit, but I don't know.
I don't see if his numbers here in front of me right now, but
I mean, he's
got nasty stuff. That's the problem. Like
he just can't control it.
Yeah.
He just you can have the nastiest stuff in the world, but you can't, if you can't put it where you're supposed to put it, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of where they're at. And, that's, that is just that's where they're at. They just, and I don't really think that the way that you develop pitching, you usually figure out a way to find pitching. Hitting is where you've got to get more hitting in this lineup because everybody that you have in here is not going to stay healthy. I mean, the past tells you that DeLauder is not going to be healthy this whole time. You're not going to keep him healthy.
Right.
And
go ahead.
Why Halpin's up here, to give some of these guys a breather and try to keep more guys healthy and keep fresh bodies out in the field. And they've been resting Jose more than I've ever seen him rest Jose so far this year, as far as DHing him.
Yeah, and that's where like Schneeman's play third base a little. My question would be Arias, like what happens when he comes back? I don't think there's a spot for him right now. Especially not since Bazzana came up. Like you have a certain amount of infield. There's Schneeman, like Jose and Schneeman at shorts or at third, Rocchio, and I guess Schneeman also plays shortstop. Like I don't know,
Schneeman could play anywhere, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know if there's room for Arias. Like you don't want to have 7 infielders on your team,
right?
I mean, is what's his name at first base gone then?
Hoskins.
I mean, is that the spot that he takes? Because Hoskins really is just a first base. I mean, they could just
cut him probably, right?
Yeah.
Designate
him for assignment. Talking about spots, if Quan, depending on whether he picks it up or not, if Quan has options, is Quan's spot guaranteed?
I think they're going to ride Quan until the wheels fall off, like for better or worse. Like if they would, I don't know if they'd actually send him down.
He's still walking more than he strikes out, and even though his on base percentage is only 311, still. To me, that's a sign that he's not lost his, control of the strike zone and vision. But it's that what we were talking about before, his contact speed, his bat speed.
Yeah, but he's down. Just because he's not striking out doesn't mean that he hasn't lost control of the zone. Part of the problem is the outs that he's making is he's swinging at bad pitches, and he's a good contact hitter. So he expands the zone.
Right.
He's expanding the zone and making contact with bad pitches. You know, when I was growing up, I had a kid. I'm not going to say his name, but there was a kid on one of my baseball teams who was about a foot shorter than everybody. Right. And because of that, he walked every single at bat.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He walked more than he struck out.
But was he a good player? Probably.
Was he a good player?
Yeah. Was he winning Gold Gloves out there though? Yeah.
It's true. You know,
but it's like, at least he's not, I think like he is swinging at some bad pitches, but like at least when you're walking more than you're striking out, like that's where he's not pressing to the point of just swinging at every pitch because he feels like he's like Cal Raleigh was actually doing that, was swinging at everything because it was like ESPN's reporting on Cal Raleigh whether or not he got a hit tonight. And it's like, then you swing at every pitch, ones that you can't even make contact with if you tried.
When you know the whole world's waiting for you to get that hit, watching every night, and the counter's on, it definitely would get in your head.
Yeah. And that might be honestly what's kind of going on with Quan, man. Like, it's not like he's just been slumping for a couple weeks and no one's talking about it. Like, we're talking about it because it's been since July of last year.
Have that option, we discovered, right? He does not have an option. So it's drop him in the order.
That's what I would say put him at 9, man. Give him, like, they spin it as you're the second leadoff guy. I
mean, Rocchio has been so productive from that 9 hole. I mean, if Quan can just do what he's doing or not, you know, it would definitely help this team out and move Rocchio. I don't know where you put Rocchio. Put him in the top 4, not 4, but 1, 2, or 3. No,
I mean, he's not a 3 hitter,
but put him at 7.
Or he's not a 2 hitter.
You got to bury the catcher at 8 because none of them can hit.
Yeah.
Like I would say Rocchio 7.
Yeah.
But that's only if you're keeping Quan at 1.
Well, that's if you put Quan to, I would say put Quan at 9, move Rocchio up to like 7, and then I was saying DeLauder at 1, but then you could still put Martinez at 1, somebody else. I would not put Rocchio as leadoff, but
see, I don't think Martinez gets on base enough to be a leadoff hitter.
No.
I think Martinez is better at your 9.
Yeah.
You know,
and Rocchio, are you saying Rocchio at leadoff?
I'm not even sure. You know, I'm almost saying Bazana at leadoff. So I think I would go Bazana at leadoff. Then I'd go Rocchio. I'd go Bazana at leadoff. Then Ramirez at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd go DeLauder at 3.
Yeah.
Then I'd probably I get Fry in there at 4.
Martinez, or I guess Manzardo, Martinez.
Manzardo at 5. Maybe Rocchio at 6. So where am I at here? So I have 3 saves.
Martinez somewhere there, unless you put him 9.
I think Martinez is at 9. Your catcher's at 8. So what position am I missing here?
That would be Quan.
Quan, yeah.
Quan at 7, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not a bad look. I mean, you got your leadoff guy with a 407 on base percentage. Yeah. And Martinez is 300. It's definitely not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and then that way you're not, that way, then Quan's buried, you know, and that way you're not expecting him to be a leadoff at 9.
Just go out there, contribute whatever you can, and
that's if they were aggressive enough to send Bo to Arizona, then they've got to be thinking in the back of their minds like something has to, like Quan's gonna have to move in the order if you're willing to, again, send Bo down to the minors. like
you said, this Arias coming back.
Yeah.
They're going to have to make a decision, and I don't think he's played well enough to really take over any of these infield roles.
No, that's where he's kind of another platoon guy. Like, he was playing almost every day, but we have like these platoon guys that are everyday players, and that's
with that gun. I wonder how he would be in the outfield, though. Not that we need him in the outfield, but it'd just be interesting.
That's a good call. Yeah, he is a cannon. Imagine his golden hair running around there chasing a fly ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one I was betting on this year, Arias, making that jump. To me, he's got the most talent, but the highest ceiling.
Yeah. He had right before he got hurt, man. Right before he got hurt. I was at the game he got hurt. I think I mentioned that. It was 30 degrees outside. Like if you're going to pull a hamstring, that's when you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was 100% just Cleveland weather just screwed this guy. But he had a couple of good games right before he got hurt.
Well, hopefully he was turning it around. We'll see if he comes back, if they give him an opportunity or not.
Right.
I'll be interested in hopefully the Juan Brito experiment is over, right?
Yeah, it looks like it is. Yeah.
For now, I bet he's going to be back on my take is he'll be back up here before we see Cooper Ingle. He'll just.
I hope that's not true, man.
I know, maybe not even because it's like maybe out of necessity. Like we just need an infield spot filled, rather than a catcher.
Well, looking ahead here, we have this weekend. We have the Kentucky Reds coming into town, and then we go on the road. Next week, we will have 4 games in Detroit, and then we will be in Philadelphia before we come back home. We'll have 3 against the Nationals, and then we finish the month with 3 at home against the Red Sox. So we'll definitely see, how the Guards are able to finish this up here. The Red Sox definitely, not where the Red Sox usually are. Same thing with the Tigers here, especially with Skubal going down. So the Guardians have a chance here to finish this month out, on a pretty good note. So the Guardians have a chance to, finish this month out still in first place. Things keep coming up. Things keep coming up good for them. So we'll see definitely, how they go. If you have a chance to go out, man, go buy some tickets, go see the game this weekend. They're doing the 2016 team celebration this weekend, which I think is pretty cool. Nice. They're doing it while Francona's in town. And then cool. Saturday night is the Rajai Davis Game 7 bobblehead, and then Kids Fun Day on Sunday. So, they're really pulling out all the stops this weekend, trying to get folks in there. It's supposed to be weather-wise an incredible weekend. And I love that they're celebrating the 2016 team. It'd just be cool if one day we could celebrate a team that didn't, lose in the World Series.
Team that actually won it all.
Yeah, that's what I was saying a couple weeks ago, man. Like the Rajai Davis thing was awesome when it happened, but I can't think of it without thinking, well, it didn't matter because we lost anyway.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
I think, like I mentioned, that we talked about this, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, that was the hardest one because, we're not the hardest one because we came back and we had that moment where we tied it. Where in the other ones we were ahead and we blew it.
Yeah.
And the Braves, not really, but the Marlins, we should have had that series.
Right.
We were ahead in this one. We were up 3-1.
That's what, dude. It was too many 3-1 jokes because of the Cavs.
Yeah.
And I'm glad the Cavs won that, but I've always been open about this. I would take a Guardians or a Browns championship. And I want the Cavs to win it all this year, but it would just mean a little. I love baseball and I love the Browns. Like, I don't know. I would take a World Series over that Cavs championship.
Well, listen, we're getting here to the end, and I love LeBron James, right?
Yeah.
And I love that he's from he's from the area and all of that stuff. But I feel like if the Browns had won one or the Indians Guardians had won one, there would be guys on that team that would always belong to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's nobody on that Cavs team that belonged to Cleveland.
They're LeBron. It was LeBron's championship.
It was LeBron's championship.
Yeah.
Like Ty Lue has no ties to Cleveland. He's not Cleveland's coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As soon as things went a little awry, he was out. Everybody on that team was out.
Kyrie didn't even want to play for us.
Kyrie didn't want to play. Kevin Love was out. You know what I mean? Like not, J.R. Smith, the guy, we loved J.R. Smith. He was running around without a shirt on and, Obama was talking about him. When was the last time you seen him doing something with the Cavs or with Cleveland or, you know what I mean, being Cleveland
Right.
Here you have the Guardians. Rajay Davis was a role player on a team that lost in the World Series, and he's back here every year. Same thing with the Browns. There just seems to be a different relationship and connection. And it's probably easier when you have a roster of 25 guys or 52 guys to, have those relationships than it is with 10 or 15 guys.
Yeah.
But,
and I'm sure it comes down to the owner. Each owner is different. They got a different personality. I mean, LeBron and Dan Gilbert couldn't seem to butt heads the first time, at least for sure. Probably the second time too.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Hopefully they're saying he might come back. So LeBron, I know you watch the show, and we still are happy for the championship.
That's right.
We're very happy for it. We won another one.
All that said, we'll take you back, bro.
But think of how remarkable that would be to come back twice and win one. Twice. No one's ever done that.
Yeah.
No
I won't bring up the NBA code argument, but that would in my mind, that would like just make if he won a championship when he was 42 back here.
Yeah.
Then all right, all the Jordan lovers can shut up.
Yeah. Well, what if he comes back and he wins back to back here? Then he's got the 6.
And he's got
he won 3 in Cleveland. Everybody can shut the F up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here at the Guardsmania, that's what we're predicting here. We're gonna win. We're predicting 1 this year, and then we're predicting back to back with LeBron next year and the year after.
So we're 3-peat.
Yeah,
LeBron 3-peat. We're calling it now.
All right.
Quan gets
Pat Riley know.
LeBron comes home. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you heard it here first, guys. Yes, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back here next week at 7:00 talking about hopefully the Guardians. So right now they're on a 3-game win streak. So by the time you talk to us next week, they'll be on a 10-game win streak.
That would be nice.
Be about 13 games above 500, and we'll see what's going on there. We'll be talking about an offense that's in the top of the league, and a pitching staff that has just decimated everybody. Logan will have gone live again from his music page, and he'll have a #1 Cleveland hit. Everybody in Lakewood will have recognized him both for his parodies and his original music.
Yeah. Man, that shit was crazy. I couldn't believe that. Eric, I don't know if you saw it. I go running every morning. I ran past Lakewood High School, and one of the kids stopped me and said, asked, "Are you the Browns song guy?" And I wanted to punch him in his fucking face. But it's yeah, man, that's me.
Right.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. But so watch Guardsmania though, kid. Whenever you guys are on your iPads for 24/7, make sure you bring up Guardsmania.
That's right.
Listen in the background.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's been a great show. Guardians in first place, and we'll see you guys back here next week.
All right.
Go Guards.
Go Guards.
All right. Go Guards. Bye.